Oh my gosh, okay, have you ever wondered about all those Game of Thrones spinoffs that almost happened but never did? I mean, everyone knows about House of the Dragon. That's been huge. And there's also a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms coming in 2026. But did you know had tons of other ideas that just never made it to your screens? So first up, there was this show called Flea. The name sounds kinda rough, right? That's because it was about the poorest slum area in King's Landing. The idea was to show what life was like for everyday people down there. All the politics and struggles from the ground level, which is pretty different from all the royal drama we usually get. They thought it might be set during Robert Baratheon's rule or even the late Targaryen days. Sounds super interesting, right? But HBO canceled it around 2021, probably because it didn't feel epic enough for the Game of Thrones vibe. Then there was Bloodmoon. This one got really close to happening. It was supposed to be a dark, mystical prequel about the Age of Heroes. You know, way before the original series. And all about the first fight against the White Walkers during the Long Night. Naomi was even cast, and they spent $35 million on the pilot. But despite all that, it got shelved. The reason? Well, there just isn't a ton of detailed material from George R.R. Martin about that time, so it was tricky to build a whole new world that felt authentic. Another cool one was 10,000 Ships. This show would have followed Princess Nymeria, who led her people on a huge migration to Dorne 1,000 years before Game of Thrones. It promised to be this epic survival story, kind of like a historical adventure. It was put on hold for a while, but there's still hope it might come back, because Pulitzer Prize winner Ebony Booth is now working on it, so fingers crossed. Oh, and get this. There was even a plan for a direct sequel called Snow, focusing on Jon Snow after the original series ended. Kit Harington himself pitched it, but it kind of got stuck, probably because the last season of Game of Thrones was so divisive. Kit said they talked about it, but nothing quite clicked, so it's still up in the air. Looking ahead, HBO is diving into animated spin-offs too. One called 9 Voyages will follow Lord Corlys Velaryon, that's the sea snake guy, on his adventures when he was young. Another, The Golden Empire, is set way over in Yi Ti, which is inspired by Imperial China. George R.R. Martin says there are multiple animated projects in the works, so there's plenty to look forward to beyond live action. So yeah, while some spin-offs never made it, the Game of Thrones world is still growing with House of the Dragon and the others coming soon. Westeros isn't going anywhere.